From a crazy braces contraption to help you lose weight to why your teeth wiggle when you move them, we've got the craziest videos today that you guys have tagged me in all over the web about dentistry, teeth, braces, everything else in between. And trust me, you guys have tagged me in a lot of them today. But anyways, let's get into the videos, let's start reacting, and guess what? You might learn something along the way too. Let's get started. Alright, struggling to lose weight, here is a deal. Slimming wire. Oh, I've actually heard of slimming wires, but I haven't seen... Okay, there we are doing wiring your jaw shut? What the heck is going on here? Oh my gosh. So here's the backstory. I've been seeing that you guys have been tagging me and commenting about slimming wires, and I didn't know what they were until you tagged me in this video. And now that I'm watching it, all starting to make sense. So basically what they're doing is they're DIY putting on some braces. I don't think this is from an orthodontist or a dentist. It's a little concerning, but regardless, what they're doing, they're putting some braces back here, and then they're just wiring your jaw shut. And so, well, if you can't open your mouth, you can't eat, and henceforth you're going to lose weight. Now, we do this currently in basically when you have jaw surgeries. When you have jaw surgery, we wire your jaw shut on purpose because we want your jaws to reform the bone after we've moved them around the jaw surgery, and we can't have you moving your teeth around like that. But to lose weight, I've never seen that before. Now, would this work? Yes, it probably would. I think there are better options. You know, you could just diet, exercise, and also even easier. It's so easy to lose weight nowadays with Ozempic and retatrutide and tirzepatide, the GLPs. So there's not really a need for this, to be honest. But if it's not being done by an orthodontist or dentist, that has another layer of concern. I don't know. What are you guys saying in the comments about this? It's pretty wild. Someone said, what will happen if you vomit? That's a good question because we have the same thing that happens in oral surgery, and the answer is, well, it just kind of goes everywhere. And we tell you to avoid that because a lot of times it goes through the teeth and around and even through your nose sometimes. So just try and avoid that if you're gonna do this. Yeah, that would be good. And someone else said, I would feel trapped in my own body. And that's right, my anxiety girlies out there. Yeah, you would probably definitely feel like if you need to breathe or something like, but yeah, I don't know how well being trapped. This is kind of like more like a medieval torture device than a medical device, to be honest. And someone said slimming wires, no way, and intermittent fasting and eating healthy. And that I tend to just kind of agree here. I think it would be easier just to go on a diet, eat a little bit healthy, work out, and probably use something like a GLP-1. It makes you lose fat with barely doing anything these days. I mean, how much easier could it get? And you don't have to wire your entire face shut. But I don't know, let me know down below if you would do this and if I should start offering it in my orthodontic practices. Fun fact, I won't be doing that. As you guys know, a lot of people get them turkey teeth and them crazy veneers, but this guy took it to a whole nother level and said this is exactly what it's like when you have that one guy that gets the veneers. Let's check it out.
Why are you smiling?
Are you guys tagging me?
I'm not. I love how natural
this is
they
the
are.
guy that gets those veneers, the turkey teeth.
The girls. Oh, I can't wait. Did you see I got my teeth done? What do you think of this girl?
Yeah, she's alright. Not great teeth though.
You've got to be joking me.
What?
I can't believe she's gone. Oh, I've got so nice teeth. Right? Oh, God, I need sunglasses with you now.
Silly sausages. See? I can speak normally. Wow,
oh my gosh. I'm gonna pause it there for now. But the fun fact is, yes, I do see this a lot of the times, and that's because of a few reasons. One, a lot of you guys don't understand the amount of confidence boosting you get when you change your teeth, because it's one of the most important things. It's actually the first thing that people notice when they see you is actually your teeth. It's not your eyes, it's not your hairs, it's whatever, it's your teeth. And so a lot of people are regressively hiding. They got nasty teeth or whatever, and they're closing their mouth, they're more closed off, they don't want to smile in pictures, and then they get something like braces, or they get veneers, or unfortunately sometimes they go and get the crazy turkey teeth that look all nasty. But regardless, in their head they think they look amazing, and a lot of the times if they're doing it the correct way, they do look amazing, and that changes their entire life forever. They're more confident, they're getting the girlfriend, boyfriend, they're going on dates, they're going and smiling in pictures. It's really, really awesome, and one of my favorite things about being a dentist. Now obviously I don't recommend the turkey teeth because kind of like this guy's portraying here, you know, they're talking about like he can't speak, it looks crazy, it's like blinding you in your face, and that's more of the turkey teeth or the going outside of the US, you know, travel dentistry stuff that you can run into sometimes, because they just make these big blocky crowns that just kind of look like one piece of giant, you know, toilet bowl white stuff, and that doesn't look good. So if you're gonna do something like this, make sure you talk to a dental professional that is trained and actually knows what they're doing, and help them determine between, do you need braces, do you need some light composite veneers over the top, maybe just a tiny bit of veneering on the front. Definitely no full crowns across the entire mouth, please. Let's see what the comments have to say. Oh my gosh, we got the 3 photos there. We got the Ross, and we even knocked All Might down there. Shout out to my anime fans. But it does kind of look like that. Sometimes if they're really bad, it looks like you just got straight piano keys across your mouth. It's pretty bad sometimes. And I don't know why, but people keep commenting, Zach from Love Island, is that you? I don't even know who Zach from Love Island is. Let's look it up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at it, I don't really notice anything crazy or off, honestly. So maybe you could just have to let me know down in the comments what the heck is going on with that one. Regardless, like I said, talk to a dental professional and get your teeth right, because it really does change your life forever, no matter what way you do it. All right, you discover you can wiggle your teeth. I totally get this, because I remember when I was younger, I found out for the first time, I was like, wow, it is normal. I actually had this weird thing where I loved to pull my own teeth out. And I think I had my baby teeth out like 3 years earlier than I was supposed to, because I love to wiggle them so much. But you are very correct. Your teeth do have a little bit of give to them. And what if I told you that that's actually a body function to protect your teeth? That's right, because your teeth, a lot of people think they're just fused into your bone, and that's actually not the case. They're actually sitting in there almost like the same way a trampoline sits on the trampoline outer metal edge. That's right, it's very similar to that. And so instead of the tooth being fused into the bone, it's actually, there's a pocket there inside the bone, and your tooth sits inside the pocket, and all these little bungee cords called PDL fibers hold that tooth basically to the bone. And yes, those PDL fibers are slightly bouncy, and so when you bite and you hit on your tooth, they bounce up and down in that socket very, very slightly. Now this allows you to have what we call proprioception, and so proprioception means that you can kind of feel when you push on your teeth, and you know if you're biting too hard on something. If you've ever bit on something really, really hard, like some gristle inside of a hamburger or something, you bite down and go, ah, and then your body kind of has that reaction to open up really bad. That's that proprioception in action. And if it was fused directly into the bone, you wouldn't have that. It's actually how teeth move and braces works, because if you pull, it will actually loosen one of the ligaments, and that causes bone to dissolve to make them straight again. And the one that's being pulled on the other side actually makes your teeth grow bone, and that's how braces work. You actually move your teeth through the bone using those same PDL fibers. But because you have this little periodontal pocket or whatever between your teeth, you do have a little bit of wiggle you can do on your teeth. That being said, I wouldn't wiggle too much, because you can wiggle too much and cause some bone loss around there if you're really pushing on it and doing it all the time. Let's see what the comments had to say. Someone said, oh, thank goodness this is normal for others. I've been terrified. And that's actually a fun fact, because a lot of people get scared here because they feel like their teeth is loose. And fun fact, your teeth move all the time. So if you're hitting really hard on, say, your tooth or something like this, or your bite is out of the way, your teeth will actually shift and move out of the way of that. And that can cause a little bit of looseness in your tooth. But don't worry, after it gets out of the way, it normally solidifies back up. And that's exactly why you wear a retainer for 3 months after braces, to hold those teeth steady so that the bone can basically re-sturdy around the teeth. And someone says, oh, so I'm the only one who can't do this. And it's also normal to not have your teeth be super wiggly. That just means that your bone is really, really sturdy around that tooth, and you don't have as much movement. If somebody's clenching, grinding, or maybe they're hitting on their teeth, they're gonna have a little more wiggle to their tooth, because, well, the bone is not super sturdy in that area because it's been moving due to those PDL fibers. And someone says, mainly happens when I just woke up. And that's actually another good sign, because that means you're probably clenching at night, or grinding, or hitting, and that's causing a tooth to get hit and move a little bit, and that's causing it to feel a little more looser, because those PDL fibers are dissolving and moving the bone around. Either way, it's normal unless it's hypermobile. That's a sign of really severe bone loss. That's not good. But for the most part, a light wiggle is completely normal. Still, bodies are so weird. This next person decided they wanted to whiten your teeth, but they had a secret that nobody else knew about, and it's gonna whiten your teeth super easy and super great. Well, at least that's what they think. Let's check it out. Okay, you guys tagged me in this, said this girl has the secret to whitening, and this is her idea, her hack, and basically what she's doing there is using a nail light, and it's gonna magically whiten her teeth. And so everybody commented me on there like, Bentist, does this work? I see all these teeth whitening lights, so this obviously has to work. And well, fun fact, this is the same exact light that you would see in dental situations. It's a UV light, and it's used to basically cure the gel on your nail or the composite on your tooth, or in very, very high dental settings, some hydrogen peroxide. It can boost the whitening experience, or at least that's what they say. Now, the places that use this in a dental setting have a very, very high powered version of this light. And also they use a very, very high concentration of whitening material. And even though there is some evidence that show that it can enhance the amount of whitening at these very high levels. At levels like this, it's just not gonna do anything. It's particularly those funny little LED lights that are just blue that people put in their mouth that pretend they do something. Yeah, it just doesn't. And so unfortunately, I do have to tell you that no, this is not going to whiten your teeth, because the whole purpose of it is the hydrogen peroxide that's whitening your teeth. It's not the light. If anything, the light could maybe up it a 1 or 2% more effective, but even then it's not enough for you to ever notice it. So that's why I tell you guys, never buy the teeth whitening lights or anything like that. Crazy, because it's kind of just a scam and they charge you a ton. Just get some hydrogen peroxide whitening strips. Ours are 10% hydrogen peroxide and they work really good, but you can go to Dollar Tree and get some hydrogen peroxide strips too. Definitely don't go throwing UVC lights around like that too, because they can cause cancer as well, skin cancer. So putting this all over your face, it's not really good. In fact, if I remember right, there was some issues of people doing the gel and getting the UVC light causing some skin cancer on the hands. So definitely be careful with this stuff and don't go putting it all over your face. In other words, it does not work. Let's see what the comments have to say. Oh my gosh, people burning us in the comments. Are you American by chance? Guys, we're not all that dumb, I promise. Someone else said that's dangerous, and that's actually true. Like I said, you know, you can actually get skin cancer from throwing UV all over your light like this. So probably not the smartest to do that on your face. It's barely okay for your hands. Someone said top 10 things you should not be putting near your face. Agreed. And someone said, can't you get a tan from that? That's a good question. I don't really know. I know they do use some UV light bulbs for tanning. I don't know if they use the same ones for dental and this. All I know is you should not look in the light and you should not put it on your skin if possible. All right, I've had these bumps for way too long. What bumps are you talking about? Oh, sawtooth over there. I know exactly what those are. Those are called Mamelons. No, not mammals. No, not woolly mammoths. Those are called Mamelons. And she is actually right. She commented, apparently they go away the older you get, but it's been a while. And that's actually true. These are developmental bumps on somebody's teeth. So if you actually pause there when she shows you, you can see it's almost like a saw ridge effect. And I bet you there's a lot of you looking at your teeth and you have these exact same things on your teeth. These are just basically the ends of your natural tooth. And they're made to actually be worn away as you get older from grinding and eating and things like that. You actually wear them away. It's kind of like your training wheels for your teeth almost. But Bentist, how does she still have them if they're supposed to be worn away? And well, normally it's because of a bite issue. Because on your front teeth, you're supposed to be able to grind them and move them around. But if you have a big underbite or a big overbite, you don't have room and they never really touch. And so if they never touch, they don't ever grind down and you've got them. We actually see these a lot in orthodontics and braces because when we get done, we do what's called Hollywood, where we'll polish and we'll make everything perfect. And a lot of the times we'll wear these off on purpose just so people don't have the sawtooth look, because they want those nice flat teeth that are perfect. But for my people out there that have these, you're either very young or you're somebody who just doesn't hit on those teeth and they've never worn away. Let's see if the people in the comments figured it out for themselves. Someone said, I just filed mine with a nail file. Probably don't do that. It's not good to just go ripping off your own tooth enamel anytime you want. Technically, it works kind of the same because your teeth are basically doing exactly that, but just don't do that. Someone said it's like your teeth have teeth, and that's actually kind of funny because it really is kind of what it is, because they're kind of like developmental ridges, so it is kind of like your teeth have teeth in a way. That's a weird way to think about it though. Someone said that's actually impressive, really. It means you aren't really rough on your teeth, which is kind of the purpose of what I'm saying. It's like if you're not grinding or if you're not moving or if your bite is not super tight in the front, yeah, it means that you're probably not going to be rough on your teeth. In fact, sometimes we even leave people with a little bit of an overbite or overjet, some space between their teeth on purpose, just so they don't wear down their teeth as fast. Or you could be like me, where you grind and you've ground all your teeth flat over the years because you're just grinding at night. Great. Regardless, it's completely normal, and fun fact, your teeth are probably healthier because of it, so that's nice. In this next one, we've got a crazy dental restoration, complete and total from start to finish. Trust me, it's pretty wild. I think it'd be best if we just all saw it in person together. You'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, you guys tagged me in this and said this was a crazy transformation. So first, they did have to do some Invisalign and then did a little bit of whitening. Oh my gosh, he's going right in there. I'm gonna pause it real quick right here. What those are, those giant holes that he just basically put on there, is this guy had cavities, okay? And cavities really commonly are between the teeth because guess what? You brush and you clean the front and back, but you don't floss. And what you don't floss, you don't see, and then in between your teeth, you get these big cavities. And so a lot of people don't realize that a small cavity can actually spread, and you can see how big those little circles are removed from his teeth. And that's basically how much those cavities can spread without you even knowing it, weaken the tooth. So basically right now, he's starting to basically clean up and get rid of all these cavities, which is a lot there. he's gonna etch, and then we're going to fill these up with probably some tooth colored composite is my guess. Like curing, he's putting his stuff on there. Great, now he's gonna be filling it with some composite material. Yep, there it is. And he's gonna have to do that individually and build up every single one of these teeth. It takes a long time, and you have to be pretty skilled to do this. So shout out to Dr. Kiki Norman, because it looks like he's doing a pretty good job here getting these guys shaped back. I don't know if you remember what these looked like in the beginning, but they were pretty gnarly. So he's got some sanding discs to refine, they're flossing, they're getting everything done there. Actually, that's a cool one. So you can actually see these, almost it looks like he just took like a little pencil and he did that. And that's because, well, your teeth are naturally not just like flat all the way across. They do have like a flat spot, and then they kind of curve in between each tooth. And so what he's doing is he's trying to give himself an area to kind of polish those teeth down to give them the right shape back. So he's actually doing a lot of really cool stuff, doing some polishing there, and then hopefully, okay, so the before, very yellow. He's got some grinding wear on all these teeth. He's got the cavities you can't even see, but they're all up in there. You saw that. And then let's see the after. Boom! He's got an increase in shades of whitening there. He did a really good job matching everything, making it look very natural, giving him back all the embrasures and everything else. Good job, and man, what a transformation. Holy moly, left side before and after, right side before and after. Dang. And I will say that a lot of that wear was probably because of his jaw issue, so I'm glad that I saw that he did Invisalign before to hopefully correct this jaw position, because if he just does the veneer type stuff, or composite veneers is what that would be called, he would just grind them all away again if he did not fix the bite issues with the Invisalign first. So good on him. Let's go to the comments. He said, but do they have the same strength of normal teeth? And fun fact, composite actually does pretty well with wear. In fact, I had some teeth down here where I got hit when I was during basketball, and I wore away my enamel faster than my composite did. So actually sometimes it works better than normal teeth as far as wear. Ooh, interesting. We had an orthodontics chime in there. So it's strictly from an orthodontic standpoint. Why do the Invisalign at all if the old restorations were that many large? I would think doing veneer/crowns from canine to canine would work better. And then he responded back, we only did Invisalign for the lower teeth. Whitening and replacement of composites were done for the upper teeth. Interesting. So he probably had some crowding on the lower teeth. They did some Invisalign there and got them out of the way from jamming into the upper teeth. And then they did no Invisalign on the upper teeth. That's very interesting. And someone unfortunately said, it looks so beautiful, but I have no courage to do this with my teeth. And that happens a lot. I mean, people have a lot of dental anxieties and fears. And obviously when you see that, drilling way into the teeth and taking that out, I can see how you get scared. But here's the problem. If you just leave it and let that cavity get bigger, it's going to go into the middle of the tooth. It's going to go in the nerve. You're going to need a root canal. You're going to need a crown. And then eventually you're going to lose the teeth completely. So sometimes you just got to do it and just be an adult and go get it done. Regardless, great transformation. Didn't mind it at all. Now in this next video is a very questionable life hack about what you should do if you don't have a toothbrush. Let's check it out. Okay, life hack. If you don't have a toothbrush, you can make one by putting spaghetti into a hot dog. What the gross the heck is you guys doing these days? I swear each week I get tagged in the craziest videos, and you guys never cease to get weirder and weirder as time goes. I don't know if that's a sign of lowering intelligence or if we're getting more creative. I'm hoping it's the more creative. But no, obviously a hot dog and spaghetti does not work as an extra toothbrush. But I will give you another life hack that actually does work. You see, the purpose of a toothbrush is funny. A lot of people think it's the toothpaste and all that. And while fluoride or nanohydroxyapatite can help with certain things, the purpose of a toothbrush is actually just the mechanical act of removing the gunk and plaque off your teeth. And so if you find yourself without a toothbrush or a miswalk or something like that you've got, then there is one really good option to clean your teeth that you have on you all the time. And that's actually your clothes. Yeah, it's your clothes. Because if you're in the wilderness or you're in somewhere lost and you just can't find a way to get that, your finger and your clothes like this is great, because guess what? You can go in there and you can start going around in town, and obviously I'm not going to take my shirt off and do anything crazy like that, but you can just take your shirt and really just scrub with your shirt and get most of the plaque and gunk off. Now you still need to floss or get some flossing done eventually, but in a pinch this is a really good way to just get all this gunk off of your teeth, because once again all you're doing is just mechanically removing the gunk off your teeth, and that's without the hot dog and the spaghetti, because that would be really sharp. It'd probably rip your gums apart, and then you're just getting hot dog juice on. It doesn't sound like a good idea. idea. But you know, 603,000 of you guys liked this video and 24,000 of you saved it. So I really hope that 24,000 of you are not going to be saving this for an emergency situation. Oh my gosh, the comments literally. Sonic literally said, if you use a corn dog, you get a little handle so you can have more control over your brushing. Oh my gosh, Sonic, you're the worst. But I love you because you're from Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma. Shout me out. Give me a Sonic sponsorship. I'll do that. I'll eat some free Sonic. Seriously though, the cherry limeades, they slap. Give me a Sonic. Someone said y'all are just now realizing this? Oh my gosh. You guys are such trolls these days. You just troll all over the internet these days, aren't you? And somebody actually said the quiet part out loud. They said, I can't imagine a situation where I have access to spaghetti and a hot dog and toothpaste, but not a toothbrush. I didn't even think about that, weirdly enough. I was so turned off by the fact he was brushing his teeth with a spaghetti hot dog that I didn't even think to realize, why do you have that in an emergency situation instead of a toothbrush? But I think really in the end, I can only really sum up this video with one word, and that's concern. Now in this next one, you guys think you get nervous and weirded out when you go into your dental visit? Well, what about the dentist? You probably never thought about our side of the things. So just check out this video. Sometimes patients just need a little reminder. Oh my gosh, this is so true. Please close your eyes. Dude, people don't ever think about this at all, unfortunately. But yes, you guys get nervous and kind of anxietied out about your dental appointment, but you don't ever think about us as dentists or hygienists out here. You guys are weird, man. You do some weird stuff. Some of the weird ones that I've seen is that, you know, when I put my fingers in your mouth, you bite on them. Or sometimes I've had somebody suck on my fingers once. That was really weird. And this happens a lot too. For some reason, you guys have nothing. I mean, I understand it. You got nothing to your pin down here. And so like, you're like, you can only look around the place for so long until you decide to get a peek at us, the doctor. They're like, is he good? What's he looking at? Is he making sure that he's actually looking at my face when he's working on me? And yes, that's what we stare down into. Right into your eyes, looking directly up at us, and you just stop. You're creeping us out at this point. How am I supposed to do a filling at 1mm accuracy when I got you staring into my soul? So this hits home a lot more than you think. Someone said in the comments, I thought it was rude if I closed my eyes. No, we want you to close them. We would actually rather put a whole blindfold on your face, so we didn't even have to have the option of accidentally crossing glances with you. Because you know how awkward it is when you're going down the street and you accidentally lock eyes with somebody and you're like, oh, well it's the same feeling. You just stare. You don't stop staring. And my hands are in your mouth. It's weird. Someone said, no, I'm gonna stare into your soul. Yes, that's what it feels like. And someone said, I usually stare at the lamp until I'm blinded. And that was me as a kid. I was like, I didn't want to look into their eyes. I'd be like, I don't know what to look at. And yes, that light is very bright. And please don't look into that light. You will blind yourself. But it is probably better than you staring into the dentist or hygienist eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay, one more. Someone said, I stare because I want them to be uncomfortable just like me. You know, I never thought about it that way. Maybe you guys are justified. In this video, we have a nice mother and daughter who maybe went a little bit too far with their braces life hacks and maybe causing more trouble than good. Let's check it out. All right, you guys tagged me in this video and said this was insane.
If your kids have braces, always remember that if they have a cleaning appointment coming up, there's no point of doing the adjustment first. I took the kids last week for their adjustment, and then I got a message that they have a cleaning appointment today. So now, thankfully, I know how to remove the wires.
Oh, okay, first off, I get it. Trust me, because this happens all the time. They go get their braces adjustments, and then they get a thing for a cleaning. They're like, they gotta go to the cleaning, and guess what? The dentist says, I don't wanna clean with your wires in. And so now you gotta go back to the braces person to get the wires out again, to do all this. I get it. Okay, so this is one first pro tip for my families out there with braces, is make sure you're scheduling your cleanings with the braces at the same time. That would be really good. That way you can go to the orthodontist, get the wires out, go get your cleaning, and then come back to the orthodontist right after the cleaning and get your wires changed to, you know, your new wire or whatever thing. Maximize your resources, because I get it. If you go do all that type of stuff and then, you know, you gotta go back there, it's like you're wasting appointments, all that type of stuff. So definitely, if you can, try and match those two things up together. Now, the last part concerns me though, because I believe she said, luckily I know how to rip the wires out of my kid's face without the orthodontist. And that's a problem. But we're gonna go ahead and watch here, continue watching, and hopefully nothing crazy happens.
Evelyn apparently knows how to remove them, so we'll see. She learned from that girl that she learned from that girl that changes her rubber bands so many times.
Yeah, no, apparently my kid knows what she's doing. She found some TikTok girl who takes hers off, so obviously that's good enough for me as the adult in the area. Don't do this, guys. This is bad, obviously, but I'm assuming she's just gonna go in and she's gonna take off her O ties. Yeah, let's see.
So it's affecting her roots?
She said even though it's affecting her roots. Oh my gosh. Okay. Another sign you probably shouldn't do that.
Going to ortho now?
Yep.
Oh my god.
You know, I respect it. That she's, you know, she's interested in ortho. She's interested in kind of doing some changing of stuff there. That's a power chain. Oh my gosh. Okay, so okay, first off, I'm gonna stop it right here because I think I've seen enough. Don't do this. And parents, don't let your kids do this. Just because they saw somebody on a TikTok doing it doesn't mean you should just let your kid go willy-nilly and do whatever you want just because you don't want to go back to the orthodontist. And there's a couple reasons why. One, you said that she's got issues with her roots. There's a reason why we do things particularly you guys don't understand. If you have root issues, if you have problems, we're trying to move slow, we're trying to do all these things. One, there's things that you might not know that's going on in your kid's teeth. Two, she's got a power chain. That's actually a prescription device. Once she gets that off, she can't put something back on, okay? What are you gonna do once you get your cleaning? The dentists don't like putting wires back in. And so you gotta go back to your orthodontist anyways, and we're gonna be like, well, why did you rip everything out? You could have just came here and we could have nicely done this. And then the last reason is a lot of times we have certain wires and certain things in place. We've got bends in place. We've got all these things particularly to that wire specifically as it is. And you need specific tools to put that wire back into your braces exactly the way it was supposed to be. And if it's flipped or if it's upside down or if it's anything, it can cause a lot of issues. So can she take the colors off? Yes, she can definitely take colors off really easily, but she can't put them back on. She can't take her wires in. She can't put her wires back in easily or efficiently or the way it's supposed to. So you're really just wasting your time and potentially harming this kid's case. She could break brackets. She could put the wires in wrong. You could mess something up. You could break something. She could poke herself with the freaking instrument in the gums and start bleeding everywhere. It's a mess. What type of world did we get into where we're believing TikTokers over actual dentists or orthodontist? Maybe that's where I come in. I'm bridging the gap. I have been here since the very beginning teaching you guys, so hopefully it's helped some of you. Let's see in the comments if some people have my back. Someone said they don't care if you have braces. They still do the cleaning, and that's actually half of the dentists out there. They'll do your cleaning with the braces in. So that's another thing. It's like you're already just wasting your time. So you definitely ask your dentist if you even need to get your braces and wires out. But as an orthodontist, we're very happy to just take them out really quickly, let you go to your cleaning, and then put them right back in. Gino, what's she doing? And someone said, this hurts my heart. Do not do this. Yeah, see, I knew there were some people out there that watch my videos, and you guys are just trying to be the voice of reason when I'm not there. Someone said, don't do that. What the hell, big no. See, I think, you know, I'm starting to get the feeling that we're healing. We're healing as a world. You guys are learning. I love this. And someone said the wire can shift and delay treatment. That's right. If you mess something up, break a bracket, put the wire in wrong, you can get up to 10 weeks further in treatment because we got to drop back. We got to get the wire because your teeth have moved. You're doing these, you know, like so many things can go wrong. And it can even set you back up to 10, 20 weeks in treatment. That's a lot of time extra in braces just because you decided to mess around. Regardless, I don't think I need to say anything more. You guys know exactly what you're doing here. And hopefully you guys keep, you know, going in the comment brigade and telling everybody to not do this. I really appreciate it. If you're seeing a video pop up here or here, you should probably click it because that means the YouTube algorithm thinks that you want to watch this video really badly. So you should probably click that and also subscribe. And then we've also got something nice, my oral care company down here, the best oral care company in the world. If you want no BS products backed by science that are amazing that I've made and engineered myself, get those, I promise you. You will not regret it. They're amazing. Until next week, I'll see you guys later. I'm the Bentist, the internet's dentist. Until next time, see you later. Peace.